see your name, you don't play football to have your name and number retired, but what does that mean to you?
It hasn't really sunk in yet. Come on, go ahead. Oh. It hasn't really sunk in yet, to be honest with you. I mean, I sit here, and this is actually the first time I've actually enjoyed the scenery of the stadium and look at the names and appreciate everything. And to see mine up there is really mind-boggling because I just, like you said, as a kid, I was just enjoying the time and enjoying the game.
That number, 13, there are a lot of players when they're young, kids, that stay away from that number. But there have been a lot of people who have had a lot of success with that number. Why did you ever wear 13?
I actually got stuck with the number in high school. I made the varsity team my sophomore year, and the only number left between 20 and 0 was 13. So I got stuck with it then and had it everywhere I've been because nobody wanted to wear it.
Look out here, Weston Dressler trying to kick this outside. Runs into a teammate. Go to return. We have some tributes. I know you've been talking to everybody, and it's like a reunion. And frankly, you haven't retired very long. You've been around here quite some time. But here's what your old buddy John Bowman had to say.
I can't give you an easy answer like leadership and whatever. It's intangible. It's like he was the calming effect. We had a lot of big-time guys, and for him to be the calming effect and ease everybody's mind and let them know that you're going to get your turn, just let me do my thing. And that's the thing I miss. He's just a calm, even-keeled guy. He got everybody relaxed. He took control of every situation. Never seen him rattled, never seen him out of place.
Yeah, that's kind of been your story, though. I mean, but also the hard work and the study sessions. I'm sure you're not minding getting up at 5 a.m. anymore.
No, I'm enjoying my sleeping in, but the one thing that the Bowman talked about, I remember when I first got to Montreal, and I saw what Tracy Ham was to his teammates. The leadership, but not only just as a leader, but people will come up to him and ask him personal questions, and that really stood out to me. It's like people wanted to go and get opinions from this individual, and that's what I wanted to try to achieve and get to.
Seth Daggy into the game for Saskatchewan. Down big, goes over the middle and can't hang on. It is about inspiration in so many ways. I know you had heroes growing up, and I know you're a hero to so many people and young quarterbacks in this game. What about a guy like Jonathan Crompton, who seems to be an heir apparent now to your era in Montreal? Have you imparted any wisdom on him?
No, I really stayed away from the team this year, but whenever you're winning ball games, that says a lot. I think, people and fans and media put too much high expectations on quarterbacks. I mean, it's a hard game, and you're not going to master this thing overnight. But if you could be consistent and have your team win, that shows a lot to your teammates, and he's been doing that since he stepped in that role.
A little bit along the same lines, AC. Yeah, I would ask, you played for some great coaches. Obviously, people talk about Mark Trestman, Don Matthews. You talked a lot about Jim Popp. But what's the best piece of advice that you've received over the course of your career?
Well, I mean, again, I just remember following in Tracy's footsteps, and there wasn't one particular thing he goes, listen, this is what you're going to have to do. I just observed him. He would show up 3 hours before practice, watch film. I would sit there with him, and he would explain what he's looking at, why he's looking at it based on our offensive scheme. And I just absorbed all that information, and that's what I try to do when I was finally a consistent quarterback, to share my knowledge with the young quarterbacks, and it was up to them whether or not they were willing to accept that or not.
Josh Bartel. Back at the 10-yard line is James Rogers with a flag down. Well, there's a lot of people who have obviously had an impact, and guys that you played with and guys who you played against. By the way, who is now a coach with the Montreal Alouettes. Here's Jeff Garcia.
And our battles go beyond the CFL. We battled in college. We were in the same conference. He was at Utah State. I was at San Jose State. We came out the same exact year. So our battles started back when we were 20, 21, 22, and then continued in the Canadian Football League. But he has been an ambassador for this league. He's been an ambassador for this city in the return of a franchise here in Montreal in the late 90s. And he's definitely been a great player and somebody that a lot of people definitely have looked up to.
won those 3 Grey Cups. Those helped a little bit too, huh?
Yeah, it was fun battling with Jeff, like he mentioned, all the way back into our college days, and we stayed in touch over the years. Even when he retired, you know, we exchanged emails and contacts. So I'm glad to see that he's here. It's always fun to see an experienced quarterback in this league that could go and help this football team, and that's what he's doing.
You know, it's one thing to come to a city, to a team, to a country, a different country, and then to make it your home. But that's what you've done as well here.
You know what? This is a special place, and you know, there's a lot of people here in Montreal that understand that it's unique. It's a safe place to raise family. The culture is amazing, and you know, I'm really looking forward to spending more and more time here outside of football. I mean, being here now and doing so much more in the city, I've got to know and realize, you know, the impact that I've had here, but also, you know, there's a lot of other people doing a lot of special things in the city as well.
Well, you mentioned you've chosen to keep your distance a little bit in this first year of retirement, but do you foresee yourself getting a little more involved with the world of football here in Montreal?
You know, that's definitely the plan. You know, I wanted to take a year off. It was important for me to take a mental and physical break away from the game, and then get into coaching. So you know, it comes down to the right fit too. It has to be a good fit for myself and for the organization. But either way, I'll be part of this organization no matter what.
Only appropriate that we leave you. Look where the ball is.
You know what? When we got here to the stadium, that's the first thing that I noticed, and that's something special.
It's one thing to have your number retired, as Sean White will give up to here. It's another thing to have your number as a yardstick. You know what, Anthony? That says everything about you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate
champion,
it.
and one of the greatest that's ever played the game. Anthony Calvillo Day. Hope you enjoy it.
Oh, it's more than I thought it was going to be. It's fantastic.
Anthony Calvillo Day here in Montreal. Salute to the future Hall of Famer. Did so much here in his time and will continue to do more in the community as his team leads the Roughriders 34-9.
Keep it tuned right here. CFL on TSN Thanksgiving Classic action continues right after this game with Drew Willie and the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. A big one for them against the Eskimos in Edmonton. After the Alouettes and the Riders as we go back to Rod and Dwayne.
Thank you, Rod. Jonathan Crompton on the line upstairs. Riders get 2 on the safety touch given up by Sean White. Still some time, but they're going to have to get some touchdowns in a hurry here. Keep in mind, this is a team that scored 24 quick points last week. Now, it was Tino Sinceri who came in for Seth Daggy. This week, it's going to have to be Seth Daggy coming in for Tino Sinceri.
Yeah, Saskatchewan Roughriders looking for a little bit of a spark, and the suggestion from Corey Chamberlain coming into this game was, as well as Tino played last week, if I need to make a change, I'm going to make a change. And it seems that the Jeff Tisdale interception triggered a change.
Some people might say, well, hey, they got Kerry Joseph there as well, but keep in mind, he just got to Saskatchewan. Not that familiar with the playbook. Daggy stands in and fires, and it's caught. Brett Swain down near the 42-yard line.
And Jerome Messam into the game in the backfield here as well. A nice job by him on pass pro, allowing that last one to happen.
Messam beside Daggy on first down. Good blocking by Messam. Into traffic. Oh, juggling it. Jeff Tisdale has his second pick. For a moment, it looked like a receiver was open, and then Jeff Tisdale said, now you see it. Now I got it. 4th Saskatchewan turnover. Great afternoon for Jeff Tisdale, his second interception.
4th of the year for Tisdale. Intended receiver is here. Tisdale's in man coverage, but the key guy is Gerald Brown, who's providing the deep help, provides the second defender there. So it looks like there's a lot of room once De Palma gets past Tisdale. but because Gerald Brown is there providing that deep help on the outside, not a real big window to throw the ball into. Tisdale can stay on that inside shoulder and still be in position to make the play.
Alouettes might be a little conservative now, up 34-9, a team that ranked 6th coming in the takeaway giveaway, and it's quite an obvious statement, but the math is that if you win turnover battles, you're going to win football games, and they're winning the turnover battle big here.
Yeah, in a big way, taking advantage of the inexperience of the Saskatchewan quarterbacks here. Again, a ball on that last one where you can't throw it to the outside as you'd like to do on that outside fade type route or go type route because of the deep help.
There goes Terrell Sutton. You know, and I know Saskatchewan fans are lamenting this time right now with these young quarterbacks that are trying to get through this because of injury to Darian Durant. And we've said it so many times about having that backup that's ready to come in right away. Look at Calgary, what they have been able to do, BC when they had Kevin Glenn around. But at the same time, think back to an Anthony Calvillo when he was starting in the league. For one moment, don't think that down the road a Tino Sinceri or a Seth Deggy or a John, any of these young quarterbacks we've seen this season.
Yeah, I have a lot of belief in Tino Sinceri, and I think the feeling from Saskatchewan's perspective really was that this would be the year that he would be ready to step up from the number 3 role as a rookie last year into that number 2 role and play a little bit. It's a learning process. It's going to take time, and I mean, you look at virtually any quarterback in the league, as we often say, in the last 2 decades, Ricky Ray's really the only exception to the fact that quarterbacks take time.
And again, the guy they retired his jersey today is proof positive of that. Came into the league with Las Vegas and in Hamilton. Very subpar numbers, and then put up the greatest numbers this league has ever seen, so you never know. Sutton now running roughshod over the Roughriders. What a run here! Amazing run by the little guy, Terrell Sutton. Little spin move, shimmy and a shake for 20.
And now you're seeing the Alouettes start to do a little bit of what Saskatchewan did in the first quarter of this football game. Relying on that run game, they've got working against a defense that they've had out on the field for an extended period of time. Starting to wear them down in that run game. The physical nature of that play at the line of scrimmage starts to take its toll on the defenders. Sutton now 15 carries, 91 yards.
Keep in mind they hardly used him in the first half. And now Sutton continues to run wild. Another first down. Is Chris Rainey that time into the ball game, and that's his second touch of the ball game. Rainey again coming into the ball game this week, one of the newest Alouettes, just signed, played with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and again with the Florida Gators.
6-4-2.
So giving Sutton a break here and letting Rainey run the rock. Had a very good return early in the ball game. 6:09 to go and counting.
Well, they're looking for Chris Rainey to be the other half of that 1-2 punch as they had sort of settled into, keeping the 2 international backs on the roster with Brandon Whitaker, Terrell Sutton. Whitaker went down with a foot injury, training, doing plyometric drills off the field, away from practice. He's on the 6-game injured list, so they're going to need someone to step up and fill the void.
Now they're getting a good look at Rainey right now. There he goes. Tom Higgins said yesterday he's something special. He's got a real skill set. Funny thing about what Tom said yesterday as well is about Jonathan Crompton and the quarterbacking situation. There is no secret that, like the Saskatchewan Roughriders right now, the Alouettes had their growing pains at quarterback earlier this season. Troy Smith in, Tanner Marsh, Alex Brink, whoever it was, they found Crompton. And Higgins said that he remembered the words of Ron Lancaster when it came to quarterbacks. Hand off here again. And he said, Ron Lancaster, who was a great Rough Rider, of course, a Hall of Famer, said that the only criteria for a quarterback is to win.
Yeah. Does he win? Jonathan Crompton has done that for the Montreal Alouettes. The numbers on individual basis haven't been outstanding, but the results, certainly for a team that was in the hole coming out of the gate, the results have been tremendous.
Absolutely remarkable turnaround, and Crompton gives way to Alex Brink. 2nd and 5. Not this time.
And I think one of the other things that stands out about Jonathan Crompton, and it to me compares a little bit with the Saskatchewan Roughriders, is just, you know, and you also heard the quote from John Bowman about how AC settled everything down, kept everybody calm, gave you a sense of calm for everybody else on the team. And you hear people say the same thing about Jonathan Crompton. He's got this laid-back attitude in terms of dealing with his teammates, very competitive, but that rubs off on the teammates a little bit, that they don't feel quite as much stress, don't feel quite as nervous. And if you think back to Ken Miller way back in 2008 as the coach of the Saskatchewan Roughriders, I remember him telling us it was part of the reason why he put an inexperienced Darian Durant in a game in 2008 was he felt he was the guy that would settle things down.
Alouettes on their way to their 3rd straight win, keeping pace for first place in the East. Black and John Liu, our entire crew here, hard-working crew here in Montreal, and we say thanks to them for giving up their Thanksgiving Monday to bring you football today. What a day for football on TSN. Running left side, Big Jerome Messam. Don't forget the Bombers and Eskimos right after this.
Jerome Messam getting a chance here. 2011 most outstanding Canadian in the CFL. Another guy who's had some success in this league as an undrafted player.
Forward for a first down. So any kind of positive sign right now, this game out of reach for the Rough Riders, but they got to look ahead